Formula 1. Returns to Japan for what is expected the first wet weekend entirely in some time in Formula 1, and this spells disaster for one of the home favourite teams, Toyota, as their cars are lacking a little bit in downforce to what the team would ultimately like, and it could end up being a damage limitation race for the team despite this being their home event. With Torosso, we're expecting they can possibly take their first points of the season and use the wet weather maybe to their advantage, because usually in the wet the form book goes completely out the window. It's all about what the drivers can do, as the weather usually in the wet is more of a pace nullifier. Red Bull though also expecting they could possibly stand on the podium for the first time this season, as they're still yet lacking that a rostrum finishing position. With Max Verstappen's expertise in the wet conditions, they're expecting that possibly they could stand on the rostrum for the first time in this race. Well, Josh Taylor was struggling in FP1 as he was spinning at the top of the SS section and slamming his front of his car into the wall and would destroy his new specification of front wing. This would mean that the team would only have one left, as they only brought one each of the new upgrades for Josh Taylor and Giovinazzi to test. And this would mean that the testing role would go down to completely for Giovinazzi throughout first practice, and if the upgrades do prove to be successful, it means they have to decide who gets a new front wing for the remainder of the weekend when it comes down to qualifying in the race. Ray Haryanto was also a driver looking to carry us some good speed. He had a good race here in 2016 in the wet as well, in what was the McLaren Honda back then. He's looking to do much of the same here in what is now the McLaren Renault of 2019. Josh Taylor was also back in the thick of the action when we got underway in FP2. Once again testing the new front wing on his car, so he took it off Giovinazzi to put it back on his for this session. Managed to make a move there on the Haas of Colton Herta, and they were to make a move in the wet. Shows that the upgrades do look to be moving Alfa Romeo in the right direction. And the final session, FP3, was the only dry session of the weekend. This will result in everyone trying out the one lap pace of qualifying also going to be dry, and it ended up being Sebastian Vettel would end up topping the time of headage just though from Daniel Kvyat and Robert Kubica. However though, Josh Taylor once again was pushing too hard through this section once again, using the new front wing, went out wide once again at the top, but thankfully this time wouldn't actually hit anything, but they would have a bumpy trip though across the gravel and would resort back to the old spec front wing for the remainder of the weekend. Despite the wet conditions, it will be Alex Albon only start from 20th place and last, and a shocker from Jean-Luc Vergne sees the 2017 champion start from P19 in the Renault. His teammate Hulkenberg wouldn't exactly go any further, starting from P18, with Josh Taylor starting from 17th in the other unupgraded Alfa Romeo. Matsushita starts from 16th place, will be the final driver out in Q1, and a good luck for Lance Stroll sees the Canadian get through into Q2, but only just to start from 15th. His teammate Colton Herta starts from 14th in the lead of the Haas BMWs, and Rio Haryanto starts from P13 just outside the points in the McLaren. Nico Kari goes one better than his qualifying last time out of China, start from inside the points places, and Giovinazzi in the upgraded Alfa Romeo would just miss out on a place in the top 10. As 10th place was taken by Pierre Gasly, who could only manage a disappointing P10 in the Red Bull, this Kamui Kobayashi one of the home favourite drivers starting from P9 in the Toyota. Charles Leclerc starts from P8, his worst qualifying of the season so far for Ferrari. He starts alongside 2008 champion Lewis Hamilton as the lead of the Toyotas. George Russell starts from P6, the ever consistent man so far in qualifying, and Max Verstappen was disappointed to only line up in P5, although it was a dry session for qualifying. Robert Kubica starts from 4th place in the BMW Williams, where he's expecting a struggle in the race. Sebastian Vettel will carry over his good pace from practice to line up in his best qualifying so far of P3. This would leave the front row to be decided by two of the championship contenders, with Daniel Kvyat starting in 2nd place and Mick Schumacher taking honours with pole position. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the F1 UniONE career, this time round 4 for the Japanese Grand Prix. And this time though, it's going to be a wet one, and it's been a long time since he had a whole wet weekend, let alone just a wet race. But Mick Schumacher starting from pole position. It's going to be a struggle for him now in the rain, because that Williams, it does lack aero. We'll see if he can hold on now. He's had an exceptional start to the season so far, but Daniel Kvyat though, that Mercedes does have a lot of good downforce. And as you saw then, something else I need to mention now, whilst I remember. This race, I don't know why, is full of a crap ton of screen freezes like it was back at Singapore last season. I have no idea why, but the actual race footage and the replay footage was just full of them. And I don't know why, because I've recorded races past this so far, and every other one besides this one has worked out perfectly fine. So I don't know why it's got to be fixed. So hopefully just the lags on this, of just ones that actually happen from the footage, and aren't just ones, because I'm watching this back as a postcard, so I'm watching it through my little video editor screen, I've just got to hope that any of the lags aren't from that and the ones that, like I said, just happened in the footage. The Gio. Starting just how the top 10, he's starting in the points, and since he's got the upgraded car, in the wet conditions, he's going to be the one making the most of these current conditions. He's expected to be wet for most of the race anyway, so going to be a struggle for me to get anywhere, quite honestly. And now then, lining up in P17 behind one of the home favourites, Matsushita, in the McLaren, instead of the two runners of Hulkenberg and Verne. They went absolutely nowhere in qualifying, but now coming to the 5 red lights to start the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go after a very long hold. I think that's 2 long holds in a row we've had now. We've got pretty much an equal run there from everyone now down the start straight now. I want to see a bit of comment from the flyers. I think there's been in contact with someone now. We're going to go side by side now with Alex Albon in the Toro Rosso. We've been demoted down almost down to last place. And hold it around the outside line of him, trying to do something now, but no, that's us down into dead last place. And that's going to a little bit of time. I was going to try and keep with this pack of cars, and now we've got Mick Schumacher there that leads the way. Coming up now through the S section now for the first time ahead then of Sebastian Vettel, who's also a bit of a rain master himself. I mean, he's back in 2008 at Toro Rosso. He won his first race in the wet, so he definitely knows the way around any of the conditions. Then we've got Daniel Kvyat, also pretty good driver in any conditions, quite honestly, along also with Robert Kubica behind him then in P4, and then you've got Max Verstappen just behind him as well. So Verstappen is definitely going to be looking to capitalise now on these conditions. And then go on now into the hairpin for the first time, the Kobayashi hairpin. That's what it became famous for really back in 2010 when he was bombing his way past everyone in that Sauber back in that race. His teammate Alguersuari, few drives as well. When we have a look at the inside line though, we have to back out and be like, oh, we'll almost try a Kobayashi move of our own there. Try and get the inside line there to get a bit of start there as well. So getting a little bit too eager on the power. And of course, so we're also in, remember, we haven't got the upgrades now on our car because they're not working for me around this track, quite honestly. There's no other way to put it than that. So we're in still the Australia spec car, which is lacking in aero anyway. And in the wet, despite the wet being a pace nullifier, I'm not really expected to have too much of a fun time really in these conditions, since most of the race is meant to be wet as well. It could just be a long afternoon for me driving around in the back, but hopefully as the fuel will burn off as the tyres go up to temperature as well, which is another thing it takes a while to do in this car as well. You try and pick up some speed later on in the race, we run out wide and we'll say you just run completely off the track, of course, you're still in the dirty air off the back of Alex Albon in that Toro Rosso in front of us. Of course, Toro Rossos, they have the engine upgrades from Honda from last race, but they still don't have any actual aero upgrades in that, so I think Alex Albon might be in the same boat as me. Well, the two Renaults don't seem to be looking too handy in the wet weather either, as we're already actually pulling away. Well, we're losing, I'm going to say Alex pulling away from us. We've got Mick Schumacher still leading the way and moving a bit further on into the race. Got a bit of a queue of cars here being led by Giovinazzi, of course, in the upgraded Alfa Romeo. Now he's got one of the Hasses here coming up behind him now. Carlton Herder on the run now down into turn 1, going in the station. Gio goes defensive, but Herder's going to try and find a way on that line. No, Gio just places his car perfectly there. Through turn 1 you see a bit of a gap forming toward the more front-running cars up in front of him. It could be the Red Bulls, Toyotas, Ferraris and all that. And then we've got pretty much what is the Formula B, Formula 1.5 Championship mini race within the race, being led currently though by Giovinazzi, I think. And you've got the two Hasses looking like so. I mean, the Hasses, I mean, they had a bit of a disaster first race, but then Herta did a good job in the second race. They weren't really anywhere back at China either, so it seems to be a mixed bag for Haas so far. Then we've got Ria Haryanto just pulling away up in front, so Haryanto managed to get past Gio at some point. He's definitely causing a bit of a queue, and that was hopefully a screen freeze. I mean, it looked like it was, but then again, I like I said, until I put this all together in editing, I can't really tell if it was or not. And coming up now into the hairpin, and Herta has to see behind it, doesn't go for the famed Kobayashi overtake. I mean, he's in the same colour car as what Kobayashi was, that black and white Sauber from 2010, when he was making all those overtakes. But Giovinazzi though, he's actually got some pretty good drive traction out of the corner, so I mean, we've only brought a front wing upgrade. It seems that the whatever wing is running on the road, because everyone's going to be running a wet setup anyway. It seems whatever Gio's done with the rear of the car, definitely allowing to put that power down rather well. So he's got Carlton Herta though, all over the back of him though, in that Haas, and we're coming down to 130. I don't think he's going to make a move up here, surely definitely not in the wet conditions anyway. But he's getting right in the station there on the back of the Alpha, because now we're through 130 yards, just has to stick behind the back of him. Nothing there that he can do. Going on now into final chicane, and Gio goes a little bit defensive well again, just managed to block off Carlton Herta there through the SS sector. Now then through the chicane as well, going to get a good run here out of the corner, but Herta goes with him, and actually so does Stroll, so does everyone really. It's just a train of cars, so there's definitely got a bit of a Gio train going on in now. Now Herta pulls to the inside line in that Haas with that BMW power. We're driving this now down into turn 1. We've got a move there in the inside line. He runs out a little bit wide there, but he's just about got that move covered, so I think he's like honestly from us, from what we did to him back in FP2, I think it was. And now then, on to lap 6 of the race, and actually time for dry tyres. The weather's just completely disappeared, and what was expected to be a completely wet race on the inters is now going to be a majority a dry race. So now we're back onto the back of the pack and we get a whole slide, because the intermediates, it's wet tyres on the dry track. Maybe back to, I think, the first ever race in 2014. Bone dry track, everyone for some reason started on intermediates. I actually no idea. So it must have been a throw of rain or something, maybe just completely dried up enough before the race then. But now it's coming into dry weather. This could actually work out in our favour, because although everyone's going to be running a wet setup for the rest of this race, there's nothing you can do about that, really. But with us being in the unupgraded Alpha, our car's going to be low drag, which means I'm going to have a crap ton of straight line speed than everyone else, if I can keep up with them through the corners, that is, once I get onto the dry weather tyres. Because my pace, when I wasn't crashing in or spinning off the track, it wasn't too bad. I got 17th place, so I'm not the slowest car on the track. That was Albon in what was the dry qualifying session. Now I think pretty much everyone's now pitted on this lap, so it could be a bit congested here now. In the pit lane with us, and there's one of the Hasses comes out clear. Now we actually have to stack there behind the team Mick Schumacher. I mean, I had no choice really. I could have said that for an extra lap, but honestly I think stacking for a few seconds is going to be quicker than going around for another lap on the complete wrong tyres. And come back out now onto the track. I mean, we're still going to be in stone dead last place, and we've lost time there to Albon in that, which isn't honestly a surprise. I think we had to stack behind our teammate Giovinazzi, who got first course since he was the lead driver anyway. But we've still we've got a few drivers here who opted to stay out and not stack behind the teammate. So we've got George Russell, then we've got one of the throwers, which I'm guessing is probably Charles Leclerc. We've got a few other drivers as well. And we've got Mick Schumacher, who's the lead driver, who's actually coming now for a stop. But then we've got the other Haas here of Lawrence Stroll, who elected not to stack behind his teammate Herta, and then didn't want to stack behind Hulkenberg either. Now he's being hounded now by, oh my god, look at that, five different teams are all absolutely hounding the back now of the 2017 champion. We've got Southside, got Verstappen now trying to make a move on the inside line then of Sebastian Vettel coming now into Spoon. This is not overtaking place, but Verstappen is going to try and stick it down around the outside line. And when Verstappen ever done anything conventional for overtaking? So getting side by side now. Going to be a good straight line speed though for Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari. Okay, he's pulling side by side now with the Merc as well as Danica gets boxing there behind the Renault. And now then we've got one of the Toyotas looking to make a move now behind one of the Red Bulls as well, side by side, and then get scared out of the corner. Really, nothing to do. But somehow managed to keep it on the track. I mean, he's a driver's world champion, so he's going to keep a car on the track on the complete wrong tyres anyway. Well, Vettel just got a massive look at that lead Vettel's just got from that two corners. And now I think, luckily for him, managed to get look at that massive queue of cars behind him. Now look at it, we even got the Tyros with Kari there getting involved as well. One of the clowns in the middle as well. We've got the other Red Bull there. We've got Robbie Kimmich as well. We've got cars coming out of the pit lane. That was 3/4 of the car off the track getting around the outside line as well. I think that is Daniel Kvyat trying to make a re-overtake around the outside line there of a Toyota, which has just appeared out of absolutely nowhere. That was probably the most manic lap I think I've ever commentated on, quite honestly. But we're now into P18, so Stroll and someone else staying out an extra lap really didn't work for them, which I really didn't think it would. But now they're coming out behind the back now of Alex Albon as Mick Schumacher put up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Now it's going to be about this run now we get all the straight coming to 130L because there's a car in front of him, directly in front of Alex Albon. They're going to actually notice our teammate Giovinazzi can pull to the inside line. Albon going to try and make the move stick side by side of the inside line, 130 side by side, and Gio just backs out of that completely. I mean, you've got the downforce on the car to stick it side by side there through 130R like that. And then into the chicane. I think it's probably the same thing with Albon as well, because the Toro hasn't got the downfall, so it's going to be lower drag now. We're all still on wet setups and that. Now we're going to be side by side now with Giovinazzi down straight. He's got the solution there from the back of Albon. We've got the solution off the back of Gio as well. Coming down into someone try to go around the outside line of Giovinazzi. Going to he's just got that move covered. Still, we try and get around the outside line of him now, just trying to find any place we can to possibly try and get past Gio. Now through the S sector. Pretty much through here, there's going to be no place that I can overtake him around here. So they're going to try and hold it around the outside line, just try and do something to stick it around. But so they're going to try and go around the outside line, to do what Irvine did in 98 or 99, I think it was. So we're close side by side now on the inside line. Giovinazzi keeping side by side with the team. They're going to force him out wide there. You see we get a bit of dust on the tyre there from going two wheels there onto the grass. But he made a move stick there on Giovinazzi, who's really struggling, it seems, there with that wet setup. Imagine with a lot of downforce on the car. I mean, everyone was predicting it's going to be a wet race, although I think actually got a bit of front wing damage. I'm not sure. I think I just saw the front wing there, and I'm pretty sure some of it wasn't actually attached to the car. So that actually might be what we saw at the start with a bit of front wing flying off, so you never know. So I think Gears might have a bit of front wing damage. I didn't really get a good enough glimpse at that. But either way then, now I'm right onto the back now then of Alex Albon in the Taurus Honda. So even though he pulled away from us a little bit, we're still like clambering over the cars, trying to shorten the course much more. I mean, he's keeping 2 wheels on the track, then he's still within track limits. So pretty much using the limits there to the advantage of what I can. Just pretty much abusing the limits, quite honestly, more than using them. But still side by side now with Alex Albon, who's going to power past that Taurus Honda. So the Ferrari engine still working good in the back of our car compared to that Honda engine in the back of the Taurus Honda. Now they're coming up now. This is going to go a little bit defensive because Alex Albon could try to dive back this line. Me and him, we've already had our fair share of tense battles. Me and back in the first race, Australia, he was defending for his absolute life against us. But now he's going to have to try and go back this. But look how far away we're already pulling away from Alex Albon. So our lower drag car than the Tarosso definitely working pretty good for us now. Coming down now into one, and then you got Giovinazzi already falling away from the back of us. So I'm surely Gio has to pit at some point. Actually, he's had front wing damage to Albon as well. Is everyone just missing parts of their front wing in this race? I mean, did they come together at some point? I mean, I don't think they would have. Anyway, moving further on now, looking towards the action now, back up towards the front. So you've got Matt Staffen now gaining now on the back of one of the Toyotas. Of course, it's all about the home pride thing. So you've got the Honda-powered Red Bull, which is, although officially there isn't a works Honda team. Red Bull is the team at the front, so you think that they get priority. And of course, we've got Toyota as well. It'll be side by side now, Verstappen pulling up to the inside line now of the Toyota, coming now through 130 yards. They're going to keep it side by side there. He can keep around the side line, just has to back out of the corner. Verstappen there once again, just balls of steel there from the Dutchman. Good now they're into the braking zone. And now we've got Kvyat now to worry about the other BMW Williams now. We got behind him, and honestly, everyone still running a wet setup in qualifying as well. And the low drag of the Williams might actually play out to an advantage here as well. Just right behind them, Rio Haryanto has actually managed to keep with this group of cars. I mean, they're being held up by Verne and that. It's really allowed Haryanto to actually bring himself into the fight with the front-running cars. And that's not something I'm pretty sure that he or anyone would be expecting to start this race. He's had a good race here in 2016, like I said, in what was the McLaren Honda back then. And this race seems to be getting better and better for him. So we're going to try to put a track a little bit with the screen freezers there. One is actually helping me stay on the track. They're in the 60th place now. We're catching up now to Matsushita, who hasn't really factored all too much in this race, quite honestly, especially since his teammate Haryanto is up in P6 and Matsushita's about 7 places lower down than him. Going up now to the final chicane now, of course, where Prost and Senna had their collision in 89, I think it was. I think in 2003 as well, there was a collision between the Schumacher brothers, which could have wiped both of them out and cost Michael the title that year as well. Now we've got the one of the toys here going up the inside line here. Oh, one of the Red Bulls now coming down now. Instead, what can be side by side between the two. They're off the road. One of them's going straight off the road and they come back on side by side. He's still between the two of them. So who's going to get this here? Kvyat could try to move around the outside line there. I think that was Gazzy I just saw. And Gazzy there barged his way back in front. Honestly, I'm not surprised about that. Getting a bit argy-bargy. The tensions there getting quite past them. I mean, there's national pride at stake between Honda and Toyota. Oh no, Kvyat smashed off half his front wing. Which I think every other car has done at some point as well, since Albon, Gio, now Kvyat's missing half the front wing. Now you've got the lead Haas right up behind the back of them now. Of course, and Herta has benefited a lot from being the lead driver of the two Haases. But now they're going up now into the hairpin. Is Kvyat going to get overtaken? Going up now into the hairpin. No, we're actually making a move though. On Matsushita, we catch this two cars, catch him napping as well. And we'll make our way up the inside line. Oh, at least Matsushita, at least he's lasted longer in the race than what he did last year in the Sauber. Now then, we're all over the back now then of this Renault of it's got to be Hulkenberg since they did the extra lap earlier on. Now then, we're all over the back now then of the German. Our low drag setup is just working so, I mean, this car should not have this much pace. But with just how it's working, it seems to be this far. It's also working now for the Haas of Colton Harry making a big way up the inside line now. Side by side, look at that good speed from that BMW engine in the back of the Haas. Can be side by side now. It's one that Kvyat actually has to back out that no way with half front wing. He was keeping that through. It's actually a little bit defensive now. We managed to make the move on Hulkenberg through all that sort of stuff. Once again, we just managed to catch hold of him. I mean, he probably got boxed in behind Kobayashi. Now we've got Matsushita going side by side now with the Renault. Of course, these two cars both Renault powered, so there's going to be no advantage for power. It's going to be about the car. And now we can put on a position there. Matsushita's got the switching there off the back of us. We have sports inside to go defensive. Try and block off Hulkenberg from making a move back now into turn one. He manages to hold him off. And then behind us, then we have the Tarosso of Alex Albon with his front wing damage. And then we have the recovering Lance Stroll in the Haas. Moving a bit further now. There's a hard cut off further onto that lap. They would have showed it, but there was just a load of screen freezes and it was all just very confusing about that one. So this is the lap that we were still on. We saw all the overtakes then. We're all over the back though of Colton Herta now in that Haas BMW. He's actually in a points place at the minute. So it's crucial really that he managed to make a move on Herta pretty soon now to come now into Spoon. He's got a really slow car in front of him. That must be Gasly. So Gasly surely must have some kind of damage from that contact as well with Kobayashi. Now Herta all over the back of Pierre Gasly like a rash, quite honestly. They can pull side by side now with the Frenchman going to be coming up next to be a drag race now up to 130 here. But Gasly's going to skip you through the line. How's it going to be side by side still with boxing right behind the back of him there. Herta has to back out of the corner, get squeezed. So Gasly going defensive for all his worth there. But honestly though, and Herta had an escapade. Look at that, he goes steaming in right behind his Matsushita. I mean, honestly, I forgot about those two with the ground that they lost. It just shows how slow Pierre Gasly is actually going. But he's staying out on the track. So has he not get any damage at all? Is his tyres just running out or something? I don't actually know what tyres he's on, quite honestly. So then we're all in the back now then. Off Colton Herta through turn 1. He gets very defensive there and pretty much just pushing him through the corner, quite honestly. The thing is, for any closer then, we'd have an 8-wheeled car, which would be, I don't know, well, Tyrrell had a 6-wheeled car, so now we'd have an 8-wheeled Formula 1 car. But through the S session, we're just getting so much on the back end. I mean, I think I saw the guys actually say a hard tyre, so yeah, honestly, it could just be the tyre difference, but I doubt there's got to be more at play. I mean, an Alfa Romeo and a Haas on soft tyres, faster than a Red Bull on hard tyres. I don't think that's going to be the case, quite honestly. They go now through the first two Degners. And now then, Herta's once again still all over the back then of Pierre Gasly. I think you just see how much faster all four of us could go, including Hulk and Matsushita as well. Into the hairpin, there's still nothing that Herta can do to try and make a move. You know, I know it's great for me to try and get some good traction off the hairpin, but we're getting okay. But there's nothing we can do there to try and make a pass there on Colton Herta through here. We're sticking to the back end there. There's a bit of a gap forming between Matsushita and Hulk. I'm just playing it back a little bit with how fast the other three are getting. If we just wipe each other out, then that's just three places for the two of them. Now Matsushita. Now Herta in the middle once again, side by side with the Rebel. Look, there's good brief passing. He must have those engine modes turned up now. We're going to put the inside line off Pierre Gasly as well. Going to make a double pass on the Frenchman. Going now into 130. Going to keep it side by side of the inside line. He managed to force out Gasly though. Or even that way back at it, the camera angle didn't really show exactly quite what happened there. But either we got past Gasly though, and that's the main thing. That's all that matters. Yes, now then. We're going to have DRS now on the back of Colton Herta. We get a great run though out the final corner. Because brief passing even before we get to the DRS detection point. But now with the DRS, he's going to blast past Herta. It's going to be deja vu what he did back in FP2, but this time in the dry, we managed to blast past Colton Herta. The Cushman now we're definitely up now into the points place, and Gasly is really struggling now behind the back to restrain the second high favourite. And there's definitely front wing damage there on that Red Bull, and being on a hard tyre as well isn't going to be helping the situation. Now then, on to lap 9. Well, actually, no, we're in P9 on lap 18, and we've got Rubik in front of us on a set of mediums, and Harrington behind us now on a set of softs. That means that Harrington has already made his second and final pit stop of the race, and he's right up behind the back of us now. That just shows how much time we're losing. I mean, Harrington, he's in the other McLaren. We've been in front of one of the McLarens for most of the race. But we can find out we're coming in now for our second stop now at the end of this lap. We've got Harrington there all over the back of us. I imagine Harrington's going to be enjoying this now. Blast passes now all the inside line through 130. I can back off. There's no point just losing them more time, because our fight for today is not with Harrington. It's with Gasly, Matsushita, Hulkenberg, and Colton Herta for what is only going to be like, what, 10th place? So it's still pointless though, but our fight for today is not with the Indonesian of Haryanto. Just like it wasn't with him in the Italian Grand Prix last season when he yeeted us out when I was lapping him. But either way, that's in the past now, nothing I can do about it. Once the race is done, and we're going to this one, the result's set in stone now, so there's nothing I can do about that. I'm going now for a set though of soft tyres, and these soft tyres will definitely now take us to the end now of the Grand Prix. Let's just be back now where we drop back out now onto the track. And there goes one of the Renaults coming out now. Down into where's the Hulkenberg? I actually didn't quite see it. Couldn't quite see which numbers on the car. They come out now. They come out just ahead there. They got one of the Toyotas. So we're not getting lapped, are we? Surely, or is that actually? Surely that's got to be Kobayashi. I doubt that we're going to be getting lapped. I mean, we could be though. But no, that's the 18. That is definitely Kamui Kobayashi. And just shows how much time he's lost. And he's come out on the set of medium tyres as well, because he couldn't go on soft to go to the end of the race. So that dive bomb move he made on Gasly, it didn't work out for either of them. And Gasly was on the outside. I mean, yeah, he squeezed Kobayashi. Kobayashi was the one of this line. He should have been the one that should be able to make the corner. Now we've got Jean-Eric Vergne and set a hard side. So Renault tried to do different as well, trying what Gasly was trying to go to the end of the race. So, but those hard tyres, they mean we're already on the back of it now. We're coming now into the headwind and go for a dive on the inside line. Oh, Jean-Eric Vergne keeping side by side still with Renault, gets squeezed onto the cone there a little bit. So can keep it side by side though. On the corner we get the good traction on our fresher tyres and grippy tyres and softer compound anyway. We're just going to breeze right around the outside line. I was trying to remember, Van's having a better race than what he did last season, I think he was, or was it? No, I think it was definitely last season where he had a puncture face like 5 laps down or something stupid like that. No then. He's going to have some station now to try and come back at us. That Renault engine is not half bad, but the aero is where the car's lacking. You see for qualifying in 18th and 19th for Hulk and Vern. But through 130, I mean, in the dry, the car is going to be pretty competitive, but since considering where it started, I don't think it's got much of a chance, honestly, to be rather competitive. Well, Vern, though, he's sticking with us, actually, so, like I said, some good speed from that Renault, which we saw back in China as well, when he was able to keep with, I think it was one of the Williams cars, with the BMW engine, which is something mighty as well. Even with DRS, there's nothing that Vern could do on the run now down into Turn 1, and he's just definitely now in front of the Frenchman, but I don't know if we're back into the points yet or not. And indeed we are. We're in 12th place. We've got Pierre Gasly now as the driver in front of us, going to go on the brakes now into there. We get a little bit back. I think we've got a little bit onto the grass coming into the corner though, but nothing major. Managed to get the car rotated around the corner, and that's all that matters, quite honestly. But Pierre Gasly though, he's on his hard tyre, so the gamble, it might work honestly. He's got 7 laps though to hold off. Well, he's not going to hold off me, I don't think. But it might be able to hold off Vern. And look how slow he's going through the corner. Basically, I think we actually are pushing Gasly through the corner there. There we get such superior run off the corner as well, because our tyres get so much pressure as well. Of course, we've got the rich mixture engine mode as well. There's going to be a drag race once again with Pierre Gasly coming now into 130 side by side with the Frenchman. Side by side. We managed to force him out though, force the issue. And Gasly there, we left him no choice other than to back out of that move. Otherwise, we both would have been straight on into the barriers, and neither of us wanted that. But Gasly though has lost so much time from that as well. And actually, I can't even see him behind us anymore from this camera shot. So that just shows how much time we're lacking there. You can definitely see the end of the front wing there, where it should be anyway. And that's on the side where he would have made contact with Kirby actually. So I think they basically ended up screwing up each other. But now they can get himself into the points places, possibly to sneak a point from this race. And from starting in 19th place, a points finish isn't all too bad, really. But moving further on now, looking at the one of the Toroses here. I think of Nico Kari, which means that's the car in front of us now, because here we are right behind the back now of the Finn. And Kari is currently, well, we got past Gasly for 12, which means that we're now in 12th place. So it means that Kari there is in P11, so it could be on for another points finish there for the Finn. I mean, he scored his first ever points in F1 last time out at China, and it looks like he could repeat it. So like I said, like Toro thought they could do, use the wet weather to the advantage, try and start a bit further up the grid than where they usually would be. Kari has kept his nose out of trouble, and has probably had a very lonely race. And then all over the back though of the Finn, and our pace just with this set of putting the inside line. Kari just like child's play really, but Kari is going to keep his side by side now, coming out into Spoon. You're going to go for a dive back up the inside line. We're going to give him the space. He's actually squeeze off the right. So Kari though getting very risky with us. Like keeping side by side though through the exit of Spoon. We're on the exit there. He has to give us space that time. The absolutely relentless fighting there from Nico Kari, which we've seen a few times already in previous races that he's done. He actually managed to pull back in front of us, so he must have that Honda engine turned to the absolute maximum now. Through 130R there. I don't think you can actually see a gap between the cars, so I could have just punched him there into oblivion if I was a little bit closer to him. I mean, it just shows how crucial, now that I'm back in the midfield fight for now anyway. I think it just shows how crucial any points position is. But then we're going to have DRS there on the back of Nico Kari once again. We're going to pull to the inside line. The Finn squeezes towards the wall. We leave some bit of space out on the inside line. That's a bit dirty there for Nico Kari. We're going to try holding him on the outside line. Keep his side by side. We're going to bash our way out of the inside line. There's a bit of contact with us. So Kari is getting a bit too aggressive now for my liking. Once again, he manages to pull back in front of us. He's getting borderline danger now. He's squeezing us towards all. Remember back in 2010 with Mick Schumacher doing that towards Barrichello at Hungary. And that got me a drop for the next race. That wasn't as bad, but that still wasn't fun either. So I think the stewards might give him at least a warning or something for that. Definitely not do that again, because I'd definitely give him a warning for that as well. Either though, this shows how crucial this is, because with what was it, Colton Herta scoring points back at Bahrain 2 races ago, that's elevated Haas to above Toro in the championship. Although they're going to be funded by Red Bull, it doesn't exactly matter what phase. You can only speak about progress since these two are getting a bit of a slide around that corner as well. Of course, with driving like this as well, this is basically with this TV time that as well that Kari's getting. This is basically him advertising himself to Red Bull for next season or some point in the future as well. If you can annoy me, the 2016 Drivers' World Champion, in what I'd like to think is a better car since we are qualified, one of the Torosos anyway. Going to be about the run once again, up now into 130 on, since we know how aggressive car is going to be. I'm going to have to use maximum energy mode, so I've got available to me as well. Coming on through 130, once again we're still right up behind the back of it. I think we're even closer than what we were last time. And the ball side by side now, coming now, energy gain car goes defensively to the inside line, going to try to hold it out around the outside line. But there's no way around the outside line then. Yeah, let's leave it at that, there's no way around the outside line. They're going to make it any move stick around there. But now they're going to have the DRS now once again on the back of Nikakari now going down now into turn 1. We're going to put the inside line once again. Kari gives a bit of a squeeze, but not as much as last time, so I think his team told him not to do that again. And we're going to make the move stick now into turn 1. Going to keep it, going to just power way through, keep a move to the inside line there. And now they're up in front now of Nikakari, but that was honestly a nice battle. But it was a bit tainted by forcing me towards all. But if you take out that was a brilliant battle there with Nikakari. And that's not the first battle we've had with the Finn this season. So honestly, he's a good driver to race, and he's definitely outperforming what that car is capable of so far. And his points finish last time out definitely proved that, and his possible points finish this race as well could prove that once again. Now to come now through into the Dagners. I mean, Kari though, he's actually sticking with us quite well actually. You know, I don't know if, I mean, I imagine he made a second stop at some point as well. Moving further on now, looking at Giovinazzi, who now finally does have a new front wing fitted to his car. But he's getting out there because he's actually just got a lap there by the race leader, Mick Schumacher, and he's going there on his merry way. Actually, oh no, he's pulling off the road, so what happened there to Giovinazzi? I mean, do you lose gears? I mean, honestly, it looked rather similar to what happened to Seb Vettel back at China, so it's like the engine issues have struck in the Alfa Romeo this time, because we've got the same spec of engine that Ferrari used. Now then, moving a bit further on, we've got Max Verstappen now leading one of the Ferraris there, of Sebastian Vettel, who's getting right on the back now, of the DRS on the back, of the Dutchman. Coming up now though into the one, Giovinazzi against Vettel into the line, but Vettel's going to dive on the inside line. We see himself, there's contact! And Vettel comes back now into the wall, smashes his car into the wall, and actually what? That car still works? How the hell is that car still moving? He smashed the rear of his car. I mean, the gearbox, the transmission, I think he got stuck in reverse then as well, so the gearbox isn't going to be all too happy now. But that car genuinely still works. How, quite honestly, I don't even know. How is that car honestly still working, quite honestly? Now looking at replays up the inside line here. I'm going to slow it down now. And Verstappen, look at that, he just cuts across. Just cuts across him there. There's nothing there Vettel could do. And then you're just getting sliding across the ground shop now, and he's going to make massive contact with the rear of that car there into the barrier. I have no idea how the car survived that, quite honestly. Actually, to say, there was a piece of his front wing flying around, that could have gone into the crowd, so that could have been a very nasty situation for someone, but thankfully managed to avoid it.
That's what he is. I mean, am I the only one, or are you not seeing what I'm seeing?
They were there, understandably livid there with Max Verstappen. And Vettel there, he was on for his best result of the season. I mean, this might still be his best result of the season, but nothing is going right for Vettel so far in this season. I'm moving a bit further on, onto that same lap, that contact happened, and something's gone bang in the back of that Red Bull, which after that hefty contact, I'm not sure if that took out, I don't know, one of the radiators or something significant has been taken out by that, and that is taken out now, Max Verstappen now, from this Japanese Grand Prix. There goes Kubica, and then actually Ria Hayato still keeping himself in play as well. On to lap 26, and Sebastian Vettel, he's in P9 now. He's had his race absolutely ruined there by Max Verstappen, and we've still got Kari then as a driver behind us. Now clear now into yellow flags, and they're clear now to pass the Red Bull then of Max Verstappen. And even if the last race left to go, there's not really any point. Although that is right in the firing line actually, but I think with 2 laps to go, I don't think the Chiefs really want to end the race on the safety car on that. So on the yellow flags, and the yellow flags are slow down prepared to stop anyway. So as long as Verstappen's out of the car, then I think it might be able to get away with it. But Mick Schumacher, who's already coming around the final sector now on the final lap of the race, he's been absolutely gone. He's just been gone from the start, honestly. His qualifying is in the dry. The low drag Williams going to be seated as well. I managed to hold on crucially though in the weather, so you have to say great driving skill as well though from Mick Schumacher to be able to hold on in the wet conditions, and with our low drag car in just how it is with the wet setup, it's just been able to give him the advantage that he needs to dominate this Grand Prix. Now as he comes now through the front chicane, he gets all fine through there. And now they're coming up now to the finish line. Mick Schumacher is going to win the Japanese Grand Prix. Make that 3 wins now in a row for Mick Schumacher. 3 wins out of the 4 races. Actually, we are honestly witnessing something truly special so far this season. Is this the new Schumacher legend now, just starting now already? And now they're looking on to us. We can now come around. We're going around where Schumi was as well, so the gap between us has stayed the same, honestly. on this this final lap, which makes actually no difference because he's won the race and I'm somewhere in like 9th place. Yeah, because I got past Verstappen, so I should be in P9, I think. Either way, we've still actually got a crossbar ourselves. I mean, we've seen issues there for Giovinazzi, so we're the only Ferrari-powered car yet not to actually have the engine issue. So hopefully I don't jinx it now. Come around 130 for the time, that all goes perfectly fine. And then it's just clear about the run now. Up to the finish line, we get around the final chicane fine first as well. Because since there's actually no one around as well, we can just take it easy. We've got Kari there behind us, but he's not a threat to us anymore. Now, coming up to the line, that is going to be a P9 finish. I'm pretty sure anyway, but either way, we're in the points, and from where we started this race, I'm so glad this race dried up and our setup there. You know, honestly, we got so lucky as well, so me having the old car actually worked out really good for us in the end. But Williams, though, celebrating their 3rd win now in a row. You think from where they started in the first race, they finished the first race with a DNF for Kubica, and Mick Schumacher, who wins his 3rd race in a row, finished in, 8th place, so they've really just come alive in the past 3 races there. Mick Schumacher finally able to get to grip to the car after a shaky start in the first race. And we've got George Russell in P7, which honestly isn't all too bad, but we didn't really see it, actually, any of them in this race. Taking a look at the end results, and Mick Schumacher takes victory and fastest lap, and was nearly 20 seconds clear of Danny Kvyat in the end, and Charles Leclerc rounds off the podium for Ferrari in 3rd, keeping ahead then of Lewis Hamilton, who had a good recovery in the Toyota once the track dried up. Robert Kubica running off the top 5, just ahead though of Rio Haryanto, who had a mega race, 13th to 6th. It's been a great race there for the Indonesian, who actually beats then George Russell, who we saw finished in P7. Sebastian Vettel getting back up now, then into 8th place with ourselves in 9th and Nico Kari in 10th place to get some points on the board once again. With Jean-Eric Verne in 11th place and Matsushita running off the point scorers in the 2nd McLaren for his home race in 12th. Kamui Kobayashi couldn't quite recover to a points finish and come across the line in P13, but would beat though his arch rival from this race, Pierre Gasly, in the end, who really, honestly, he should have pitted. I think he definitely would have got points if he did. And we got Lance Stroll, he finishes where he started in 15th, ahead then of his teammate Colton Herta, with Alex Albon in 17th in the Toro Rosso, with Hulkenberg as the last of the finishes all the way down in P18, so Hulk's had a bit of a nightmare race, with Max Verstappen and Gio as the 2 retirements from this Grand Prix. So now then, moving on to the drive standings, and with his 3rd victory in a row, Mick Schumacher's opened up quite a lead now. He's got 12 points now over nearest challenger Danny Kvyat. He's in 2nd because he finishes on the podium once again, the ever consistent Russian. And then Lewis Hamilton now stays in P3, and he's now a race win worth of points off the championship lead. We have Charles Leclerc in P4 with George Russell in 5th. Now Robert Kubica gets up now ahead of Kobayashi into P6 by 1 point, 24 to 23. And then we've got Kobayashi 10 points clear of Pierre Gasly. He still remains as the lead Red Bull driver, with Verstappen in 9th. Vettel now into 10th place ahead of ourselves by 1 point, and Haryanto with that brilliant result gets 7 points to this race and gets up now inside the top 12. Verne gets himself now into 13th place ahead of his teammate Hulkenberg by 1 point. And Tony's 1 point clear of Colton Herta and Matsushita, with Kari doubling his points now up now on 6 points as well, so a 3-way fight there on 6 points. We've got Norris now down into 18th place as the last of the point scorers, with Stroll, Alex Albon and our teammate Giovinazzi as the only 3 drivers yet to score. And finally now, moving on to the Constructors standings, and Williams now take the lead of the Constructors Championship, and you would definitely wouldn't have thought that after the first round, where they're on like, what, 5-6 points or something, and now they're on 91 and they're 6 points clear now of Mercedes, who are in 2nd, with Toyota leaving this round where they came into it in 3rd place, 21 points off the lead, and they're 20 points clear now of Ferrari, who are in 4th, with Red Bull in 5th scoring no points from this race, which now means that McLaren are now only 5 points behind Red Bull as they jump ahead now then of Renault by 4 points. And now then, with our points in this race, we managed to get ourselves back ahead then of Haas on 9 points to Haas's 6, and Toro Rosso also now on 6 points but on better result. Herta keeps Haas ahead of Toro Rosso. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the video description. Also check out the wiki for this series as well, because I've got one for this season, past seasons, every single team, every single driver to ever be in as well. So if you want to catch up on previous seasons or everything that's happened. Also, if you want to check out the livery mods that I use, because I got the F1 game on PC, so that will be the Mercedes 125-year livery, the BWT livery on the Toyota, the Alpha livery and the Haas livery. They're all linked in the description down below. If you've got this game on PC, the race department links if you want to give them a download and use them yourself. So then, yeah, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the race. Leave a comment down below as well. Subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell. Same as now on any future videos. Remember to give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. They'll be linked in the description down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.